Hi, creative community. It's Michele Tracy Berger, and I wanted to take a moment to talk with you and ask you some questions related to decluttering. So, I have two videos where I have shared several kind of common phrases that people say over and over and over again that keep them from decluttering. So, if you walk into your room and you start thinking about decluttering, you look around the room and then you say, something like, I don't have the time to do it, or, I'm not motivated, or I can't get rid of that because, my husband or my great aunt gave this to me. So I talk about how those phrases that we say over and over and over again, how we might take action on them. And also, I've been talking about my Declutter Challenge for Creative People, which is a self-paced course that is open right now. And thought I would just kind of step back and give people a little bit of a context of why I'm so passionate about this work. So for me, I have been on a journey related to decluttering for a really long time. And it wasn't until I found this process, this container, one might say, that I share in the Declutter Challenge for Creative People that really it felt transformational because it wasn't just about kind of the physical outer world. I've been dealing with kind of clutter in different ways over many years. It was really about kind of the inner transformation and making the connection that if I create more space in my environment as a creative person, it gives me such freedom to move forward on my projects. And it quiets the inner critics, it quiets kind of issues of procrastination, perfectionism, something that most of us struggle with. And I will just say that in my own early journey, I experienced trauma as a young person. And that trauma then led me to create some behaviors where it was all about protecting myself. So it was all about, trying to deal in my, young mind with the things that happened to me. And that then led into someone who it was just really difficult for me to let go of things, right? Because I had experienced such scarcity and difficulty in my early life. And so it wasn't until I, kind of started doing my own inner work and then, like I said, over time found this process that just allowed me such grace and such freedom to move past some of the more difficult outer aspects, manifestations of that. And I had to deal with fear, I had to deal with shame, I had to deal with anger. And I'm just really curious, for you, as you are thinking about decluttering, I'm just really curious what stops you around decluttering, but also, if you have fear, shame, and anger around decluttering. And so, fear is like, um, who am I going to be? How can I take these next steps? When, it's just really scary. For some of us, it's just really scary to let go of something, to figure out the person that we're trying to be and move forward to that. And sometimes we have shame, sometimes we just really have shame and then we beat up ourselves about not taking action on things that related to decluttering. And sometimes we see that showing up in our creative life. And then sometimes we just have anger, like, why can't I, get through this? Why can't I move through this in ways that I really want to? So if you have any of those kind of strong feelings, I'd love to, know where you are related to them and kind of where you are in the process. And I will say that this declutter challenge for creative people, it is so fun. So it's so fun that it kind of interrupts some of that, I think, the shame, fear, and anger, because it's a fun process, it's a manageable process. So we don't have to spend, months and months and months decluttering. We try to get at, I would say that some of the low-hanging fruit related to decluttering, that is particularly relevant, and it works on multiple areas of your life. So you're doing that kind of physical work, but you're also doing kind of this inner work that people have found really generative and supportive. So check that out. All the details are below. If you're also not in my creative community and you really enjoy this kind of work that is both, I would say kind of moving toward that kind of bigger creative big space thinking as well as kind of the nuts and bolts, then you might like being in my creative community. When you sign up, there's, lots of wonderful free gifts to support you. There's audio, meditations, and other things. And yeah, just I'd love to know what you're thinking about this spring, and your sense of decluttering. Like, what are you struggling with? And I will be happy to address some of those things in future videos. Thanks.